My name is Roger, and this is your Daily Tarot Map for Thursday, January 28th, 2016, using Tarot to create the life you want. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me today. And also, thank you for liking, subscribing to, sharing these videos. As always, I appreciate all of your support. So today we continue our work with the Japaridze Tarot, created by Nino Japaridze. And the three cards drawn randomly from the deck today were the Moon, the Sun, and the Ace of Tides. So some of you might be facing some big issues today, as the presence of two majors in our reading suggests. Now, it's worth mentioning right off the bat that all three of today's cards are ill-dignified by the card next to them, so suggesting that something might be a little bit off-kilter in your world today. Now, the first card in our draw is the Moon, and the Moon often signifies the unconscious. It's about things that are hidden, and in its ill-dignified state, it might point to confusion, maybe even the darker side of our unconscious. You know, it can be about our worries and our fears getting the best of us to such a point where it's difficult for us to move forward, to carry on. Now, our next card, the Sun, supports this idea as well. The Sun is normally a card of joy, of happiness, clarity, but the Sun's light is diminished today by those two water cards flanking it. So as such, the Sun's normal bright rays are clouded, and it brings with it feelings of uncertainty and doubt. You know, the feeling that I'm really getting from these two cards is pessimism. That negative banter inside of our head that brings us down. You know, nothing can snuff out our light quicker than negative thinking and self-doubt. And when some of us hit a rough patch or feel down in the dumps, it can become difficult for us to see the good in anything. You know, we all have these awful bad days. But luckily, they're already temporary. Because we temporarily, you know, when we're in the midst of these kind of days, of this kind of mood, we forget that this too shall pass, and that the majority of the feelings that we're experiencing at the moment is just a fleeting emotional state, often the result of all those stupid negative things that we tell ourselves during the day. And the more we think along these lines, the deeper entrenched we get. You know, we might be telling ourselves such things as, I'm never going to get out of this financial mess, or I'll never be able to leave this crappy job. I'll never find anything better. You know, all of this can be true unless we take actions ourselves to change it. You know, we often forget that we create our own future, and that most situations in which we find ourselves do have solutions. Hell, sometimes they even end up fixing themselves. So the best way out of this little funk is to change your outlook as suggested by our last card, which is the Ace of Tides, the equivalent of the Ace of Cups. Now, this card is, in its ill-dignified state, speaks to me of needing an attitude adjustment, of the need to remember that we are worthy of having abundance in our lives. You know, all the aces in tarot bring with them the ideas of new beginnings. And given that the suit of tides, is about emotions, suggests that a new emotional beginning is just around the corner. You know, we all have bad days. And for some of you, this may be one of them. You know, your world may be a little bit upside down, topsy-turvy today. You know, I've found that once I decide that I'm no longer going to be down in the dumps and allow negative thinking to rule me, the clouds part, the moon sets, and we're back on track once again. So the message today for these three cards is: believing in those negative things we tell ourselves is the single greatest obstacle to success. Dwelling on the beautiful things in life rather than the negative can get us back on track. So today's advice card comes from the Wisdom of Hidden Realms Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. And the card drawn randomly from the deck today was the Ice Queen. So interesting card we have in light of today's draw. You know, the Ice Queen in this deck is about preserving things the way they are. So if you are living on the darker side of your emotions today, then definitely today is not the day to be making any momentous decisions. Heck, maybe even hold off on the minor ones for a while. You know, I've made choices and have decided things during a period of a dark mood or dark time and tend to almost always regret it later on. So today, if you're not quite yourself, hold off on deciding anything until you're back to your old self. And that's it for today. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you click the like button below. And you'll find all my contact information, as always, at my website at tarot-dude.com. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Brightest blessings.